Why send a train to invite us to a black hole? It seems whoever sent our invitation values consistency and catastrophic interference.
About that. I got info, but you're not gonna like it.
Try me.
The gravimetric distortions, the dark matter, the weird train, an invitation? There's only one group of jokers I know who get up to those kinds of theatrics. The Nine.
Well, that certainly is a theory. Although I would expect to have already heard from the emissary if that was the case. I'm going to rerun the telemetry to see if I can find another radio transmission and get us some answers.
Achieved precarious stabilization, but still request evacuation due to hostile NHI. If we can't close the singularity, we're pulling everyone in with us. Anyone? You out there?
Odd. The timestamp on this transmission doesn't make sense. It comes after the Mayday, but the timestamp says it was recorded many months before. Either someone is intentionally trying to scramble these transmissions, or the singularity is causing more problems than we thought. It's the same Elixni combatants from earlier. They are persistent. Stay vigilant and don't let them come back again.
I thought I recognized those symbols. This is the House of Exile. The last time we encountered these Elixni was on Luna. They're called the Exiles because each of them were exiled from their original house. That's the last of them, and we've got what we need. Let's head back to the train and see if we can't get past that blockade.
No more transmissions on the backlog. And the timestamps are all off. Keep heading for the train. Maybe we can triangulate a location. Suppose you're right, Drifter, and we are dealing with the Nine. You have the most experience with them. What did you observe in your interactions?
Rumor has it the Nine are extra-dimensional. Caught in the gravity of Sol's heaviest hitters. You know, planets, moons, stuff like that. There are aliens, and there are aliens. And these guys are aliens. They don't live in this dimension, which means they can mess with you.
The Nine can scheme all they like, but until they affect the real world, let's not give them more power than they actually possess.
Trespass the domain of the once exile, chosen of the Giver. I am Archon Prime, sovereign of this orbit, speaker of the voice invisible.
Interesting. That Elixni wasn't an Archon. I wonder what that was all about.
In the wake of destruction, one exile falls, and three more rise.
Hold on. That same voice, this Archon's voice, is coming from another Elixir. I'm not sure what's going on.
Exiles! I prophesied the deathless arrival! Creatures cradled and kissed by the infinite curse! Great machine!
Deathless? That sounds like you, Guardian, but, derogatorily.
mercy and the same!
That voice is coming from another Elixir. I still don't understand how that voice jumped from one exile to another. The witness could possess, but that required a civilization's worth of darkness. Could something have drawn them here? Maybe the high concentration of dark matter is boosting this Archon connection to darkness.
Darkness is about connection of memory, but it doesn't work like that. And dark matter, in spite of the name, has nothing to do with darkness.
So this is something else entirely. Huh. One of the Archon's lackeys dropped something.
Ophiuchus's energy readings are spiking. This is a container of dark matter, the same connected to the Singularity. Don't let that go.
Hold it. Who do you work for, and what's your business here?
Telemetry originates at this location, but the signal is weak.
What are you doing here?
We're Guardians, from Earth's vanguard. Circumstances suggest we were invited, but we don't know who sent the invitation.
Earth?
Have you been here a while?
I have journal entries tallying 4 weeks, but my 5 o'clock shadow says a day. Something's wrong with time. It's my job to investigate. You picked up something that's special to the people here. Use it. I'll see you on the other side. We can talk there. You can, tell me all about Earth.
That's the man who sent the distress signal. But he didn't seem in distress.
Something's wrong with time.
I'm curious as to how our contact intends to fix it. But his observations seem to be correct.
And we just got here. There's probably a whole mess of time nonsense just around the corner.
Agreed. This train's temporal presence is concerning.
That's the least of our worries. The real head-scratcher is our new friend seeing the people here.
Ikora did say she suspected sentient life.
Sorry for all that earlier. My name's Lodi. My introductions aren't usually that rude. Come on, let me show you around. Your companion gave me a debrief about your mission before she insisted on meeting the scientists here.
Scientists?
Oh yeah, the Ionians are brilliant. They've been great hosts since I showed up here a few weeks back.
Objects from a different time were sent to us, like we were called or invited. Did you get one too?
Of sorts. I got a call of my own. I hope your ride was smoother than mine. Are you headed back to Earth after?
Are you asking for a ride?
It's just conversation. Appreciate the offer. I'm staying with the locals for a while. Time distortions all over this place. The Elixni make it hard to traverse further out. Fascinating, aren't they? You know, the language structure is similar to Finnish. Keep an eye out for the House of Exiles. They didn't like me getting close with my recorder. If you're here to sort out the time anomaly, it sounds like we're on the same side. I'll help you look into your calling card. You help the locals with some of the weightier tasks. You seem like you can handle yourself. First in a few words, I can appreciate that.
These Ionians were able to temporarily stabilize the singularity. They prevented their planet from splitting until someone could help. I'm as surprised as you they've eluded us for so long, but this place is shrouded in dark matter. It could have cloaked the presence of sentient life from the outside. Ghost, did you find the source of the distress signal?
We've made contact with Lodi, here in the settlement. He's offered to help us look into our invitation, if we help the people here. He seems trustworthy, but his presence here feels very convenient.
Yeah, by the look of him, I'd say he's as out of place as we are.
Guardian, I've made myself a contact within the Elixni ranks. Apparently not everyone is happy with the way things are being run.
You little sleuth.
That's the idea. Anyway, there's apparently a power station nearby feeding a lot of juice into something off-site.
Got it. I'm reading high levels of arc energy.
It's mixing with signatures matching the singularity.
All right, Guardian, this has to be the house's power plant. There's a massive current moving through the cables around us. And gravitons.
My informant Kielsk tells me that power is going straight into a warship.
If we can get to a power plant's controls while it's charging their ship, we can send a lethal surge to it from here before it ever leaves port.
Crafty. And it'll buy time to hunt down the Strangelet capsule in the Accord. If we stop the singularity from expanding, stabilize Kepler, maybe they'll stand down.
Yeah, fat chance we talk a psycho like that off a ledge. He's a true believer in whatever psychos believe in.
They aren't leaving us many options. We need to reach the anomaly.
Deathless, why have you come? Glimpses are seen of your actions, but your motive ever shrouded. When my house found Saul, saw the great machine with your world, we left in defeated peace.
It looks like this station is actually drawing some form of power from these native cytocolonies. So, these are their generators?
This whole place is wired like a rat's nest. That's worse than my ship.
The Deathless was foretold. See how they must kill as prophesied. Kiver Sight warned me of this final test. I'll be resilient, my house.
Look alive, hero. They're piping in splinter mines. Crazy sons of crabs are gonna cause a damn cave-in.
You're on bomb defusal, Guardian.
Lavast sure likes to talk, making a show of us barging into his house. Maybe we pull his moxie out from under him and he lets some intel slip.
Unless he sees that coming. All this prophecy talk. Back in my day, you kill a fella fair without knowing the future.
You think he's really clairvoyant? Okay, Guardian, we need to find a way to overload that control panel.
Once we do, the immense surge of current will wreak havoc on whatever warship the house is trying to power up.
Probably why they tried to blow us up. I guess they're trying to unplug. We should hustle up.
Like vile Vex, the Deathless is violence-driven. They cannot be turned away by reasoned words. Only blood.
Mighty Archon, we hear your prophecy. The Deathless kneels before the Giver with your blessing. Just open the way.
Will, what now?
This was not our tricks. You conspire with metal invaders to keep us from the Giver. To draw our house into folly. Basilisk, the work is done. Bring these walls down on the Deathless. Show your Archon true faith. This world will slip into unknown spaces, as I have seen it. Exiles with it, their death is fated to be reborn.
What's your next plan? Stand there with the guns pointed at each other until someone gets cold feet?
So the Archon didn't take the bait, but he mentioned being kept from the Giver. Sounds like, despite their push to the Singularity, something's still cutting them off from it. That means we don't have to rush right in unless they make a move. Maybe there's somewhere else we can apply pressure.
You're a kid. Those things been shooting at you since you landed on this dump, and you still haven't pulled your piece.
That's right. Unlike you, I don't prefer a gun to solve my problems when questions work just as well.
Enough! We may have knocked out their power, but the Archon's still out there. We'll need to be ready when they make their next move.
You sure your informant ain't running us around in circles, Square?
Kiosk is risking a lot just to speak with me. And I vetted them, of course.
Yeah, you're probably right. All those ones that tried to kill us are just bad apples.
People aren't all one way or another. That's what makes this interesting.
Secure avakes nikakun. Ran sinar esniafakun nevar. Davan plesika.
I mean, they're clearly very upset, and I don't blame them. Abduction is terrifying. I still haven't been able to suss out why talks with the Exiles went south. I mean, these are poor circumstances for negotiation.
The readings on Kepler are still spiking. The Singularity is still a threat. We'll need the Ionians' help if we want to open that lock.
That's just as many researchers as the Emeritus said there would be. Didn't lose anyone. That's a relief.
I wonder if you might shed some light on something while we're still learning the language. This settlement is obviously well established, over decades, if not centuries, but I see little in the way of weapon emplacements or true fortifications. Has there been no conflict all that time?
That's the gist I'm getting. The Vex are new, and the Elixni, well, they used to have a working trade relationship. Armed conflict is new for the locals.
Turkiya o Pagal. Unfaire Supercon Olan Fusia. Turkiya. Suderuya Mulge Mika Sukafa Tuya. Usikara Fusite. Yasakai Uyavu Tishukun. Divare de Tanas Balala. Yosundiaba Palambane. Yaluisia Axia Sushinde. Insa Ultimaru Sindi Yakuture.
You got my favorite thank you! Nice work, Guardian. You reunited the Ionians with their loved ones.
The scale of this problem concerns me. Our forces aren't so robust as to defend this whole settlement indefinitely. And defense is fruitless if we can't stabilize the singularity. We just discovered a lost colony. This discovery changes how we see our own system. How many others are out there?
Guardian, you have one new call.
You've made great strides in communicating with the Ionians. We've learned their language has multiple origins. Little wonder it needs such effort. Understanding comes not a moment too soon. Between the Elixni and the Vex, the situation here is unstable. And we have so much to learn from them. I followed your example in translating. Script first, then words. These notes you recovered. Unbelievable. The advances this outlines in gravitational manipulation, without the light. And that's only one thesis. I hope some of them, at least, will be amenable to returning to Earth. We cannot lose this connection. We simply can't.